Moe Szyslak's life is plagued with heartbreak. He's so hopeless in love that even his blow-up doll left him. Moe is a complex guy. On one hand, he's totally sleazy.
I've done stuff I ain't proud of, and the stuff I am proud of is disgusting.
But on the other, he's been shown to have a big heart buried beneath all of his bitterness. He saved Maggie's life, bonded with her like a dad, and spends his spare evenings reading to sick kids.
And truly, she was my friend, Flicker.
His luck is so bad that even when he finally finds someone and proposes, she vanishes for 4 whole years. Seriously, where the hell is Maya? So in this video, I'll be looking back at all of Moe's failed romances to figure out what went wrong and predict if he'll ever get his happily ever after.
One thing Moe Szyslak has never had is a partner, nor a wife, a friend, a chum, a casual acquaintance, a pen pal, a parrot, a meaningful conversation, a brief hug or eye contact.
So, as I've said before, Moe's never had the best luck in love, which is a curse that dates back to his school days when he had his first kiss.
Oh crap, my first kiss. You could do a lot worse, my friend.
And it was all downhill from here, like when he told a girl he loved her and she instantly disappeared. And as a teenager, he asked a girl out only for her to leave him standing on her doorstep for an entire year. These experiences help explain why Moe turned into such a bitter, depressed loner who spends his nights ogling at the models in department store catalogues.
See his catalog. Now would you unhook this already, please? I don't deserve this kind of shabby treatment.
And so it seemed that Moe was destined to be alone forever. That is until Edna Krabappel walked into his life. Yes, in the season 17 episode, the seemingly never-ending story, we get a flashback to their unexpected romance. And it's your classic meet cute. She's the new girl in town, he gets hit by a bus, and he schemes his way through a whirlwind summer romance. But Moe's biggest problem is that he doesn't love himself enough to be himself, and his self-loathing colours his view of the world. This resulted in him making a persona to make himself seem more attractive to Edna. So when she reveals that her ex-husband was an alcoholic and she hates bars, Moe claims that he's a therapist for recovering alcoholics. Deep down, Moe knows this ruse can't last forever, so he robs Professor Jelber to start a brand new life with Edna, far away from Springfield and far away from his real life. But it wasn't all one-sided. Edna must have genuinely liked Moe because she was prepared to quit her upcoming teaching job just for him, only staying in town after meeting Bart, which makes her realise that children's futures are more important than her own happiness. And instead of understanding, Moe drops his facade.
You crazy skirt! Nobody backs out on fake good Moe! I ought to dive into the climate! What are you all here for?
At this point in her life, Edna was far too optimistic for someone like Moe, and had they left Springfield together, Moe's ruse would have definitely fallen apart very quickly. Their relationship was all built on a lie, and it definitely wouldn't have lasted long. Honestly, it is kind of a shame that they told this brief romance through a flashback instead of setting it in the present day, because an older, more jaded Edna would have made a far more compelling match for Moe. They would have both been world-weary, a bit miserable, and maybe quite compatible. Watching those two navigate love with all of their baggage could have really been something special, or it could have been a complete disaster where they continue to drag each other down. So, with that season 17 flashback out of the way, let's dive into Moe's romances in the chronological order over the show's run to track how it develops, starting with Colette. In season 3's Flaming Moe's, Moe's Tavern becomes the hottest spot in town, all thanks to Homer's secret drink recipe.
Flaming Moe! It's called the Flaming Moe. That's right, a Flaming Moe. My name is Moe and I invented it. That's why it's called a Flaming Moe.
By the way, this is my personal all-time favourite episode. It's just so nostalgic to me. I think it might have something to do with this scene reminding me of my own dad making weird drinks using whatever was in the kitchen cupboards, especially at Christmas, but that's just me. Comment down below what your favourite ever Simpsons episode is. Anyway, Moe's Tavern gets so busy that he needs extra help, and that's when Colette walks in.
Why don't we fill out an application? I'll need your name, measurements, and turn-ons.
You really expect me to tell you my measurements?
Colette was actually based on Diane from Cheers, and seeing as Simpsons writer Sam Simon also used to write for Cheers, he helped write a lot of her lines for this. In fact, the entire episode is one big Cheers homage, right down to the theme song.
And happiness is just a flaming Moe away.
And Moe's Moe's actually got better moves than Ted Danson, wasting absolutely no time in flirting with Colette.
Of course, there are fringe benefits.
Such as?
An unforgettable weekend at Club Moe.
And funnily enough, when I listened to the audio commentary for this episode, even the producers were weirded out that Moe actually had game.
I didn't think this particular thing worked. I didn't think you ever want to see Moe successful with a woman. It's just kind of creepy.
The two start dating, and they get close enough for her to call him Morris, and she even becomes something of a conscience for him. Because after learning that he stole Flaming Moe from Homer, she encourages him to do the right thing by selling the recipe and splitting the money with his friend right down the middle.
Keepers, Mary and Joseph. I sleep with a chick once. It cost me 500,000 bananas.
However, that plan goes up in a flaming ball of fire when a crazed Homer reveals the secret ingredient.
Cough syrup!
Shoot.
And soon enough, the Flaming Moe is available all over town, and Colette leaves to pursue a film career.
Frankly, I think she was better off here.
As a parody of Diane, Colette was also witty and could easily banter with the bartender. And even though he could be pretty crude, I guess she found his bluntness kind of refreshing. I liked that she was a good influence on him. She didn't mind sleeping in his dingy room, complete with a mouse hole, which he also shared with his mother.
Morris, something troubles me.
Don't worry, baby. My mother won't be home for another 20 minutes.
She accepted his way of living instead of shaming him for it. Still, it was just a quick work fling, and Moe probably couldn't afford to pay her even if she did want to stick around. Originally in this episode, there was actually going to be more of the Moe-Colette subplot, but they ended up cutting it because they found Moe being successful with women was a little too freaky.
In fact, I think we cut this way down and really changed the story around, that part, that B story, a lot, because it didn't work.
It kind of did creep us out as I recall.
Think about it, Moe was so pathetic that even his own creators were weirded out by the idea of him being happy with a woman. I guess especially early on in the show, perhaps the writers felt that they had more scope by leaving Moe lonely.
Ah, I'm so desperately lonely.
And to really rub salt in the wound, in the season 9 episode, The Two Mrs. Nahasapima Petalons, Moe enters the bachelor's auction, only to then instantly walk right off and into the rejected area. The way the women in the audience just glare at Moe and he has to stand in the rejection area is just so insanely cruel, but oh so funny.
Why do we have to stand here? This is so humiliating.
So going back to what I was saying earlier about the writers finding the idea of Moe dating someone so strange, maybe that is a reason why he didn't get another real love interest until season 9's Dumbbell Indemnity. So Moe's feeling lonely after his Russian bride left him.
She got homesick for her old life, diving for tourist pennies in a Micronesian swamp.
But luckily, Homer's there to offer some encouragement.
Oh, it's probably due to your ugliness, but that doesn't mean we can't find you a woman.
So he takes a lovelorn Moe out to Disco Stews to find him a woman, and with Homer as his dating coach, it goes as well as you'd expect.
You look pretty clean. You, mind if I had this dance?
It's all yours.
Ha.
After multiple rejections, Moe leaves even more depressed than before. That is until a florist called Renee takes pity on him and agrees to a date.
She's going out with me, cat. Mwah.
Stop kissing that cat and get in the car.
I always found Moe so cute here. He's just so happy. Oh yeah, and this is the director talking about the design of Renee here.
I tried to design her so she's not the typical boring beauty, but she has a quality that's unique that maybe you could see her with Moe a little bit.
Exactly, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for once, Moe gets to be happy, but their romance is defined by him spending all of his money on fun activities, stuff he can barely afford. And I think the reason why he goes so overboard is that he's trying to buy her love. Moe doesn't believe that someone could actually love him for who he is, so he throws his money around to cover up all of his insecurities. Anyway, all this comes to a head when he maxes out his player's club card and is convinced that Renee's going to leave him.
Look, I really need these flowers, okay? I got a real tenuous hold on my girlfriend here.
So Moe ropes Homer into a scheme to steal his car and collect the insurance money, which results in Homer getting arrested. But instead of bailing him out, Moe betrays his friend by booking a trip to Hawaii, despite Renee clearly saying that she doesn't need an expensive vacation. This implies that she really did enjoy spending time with Moe, and all of his lavish gestures weren't really necessary. So torn between his best friend and his new relationship, Moe eventually comes clean to Renee, and while she's shocked, she at least appreciates that at least he's trying to set things right. But then he spoils it by suggesting that they fake their deaths and set fire to the bar, leaving Renee to a quick exit.
Where you going, baby? You going to find the corpses?
Yes, Moe, I'm going to find corpses.
So Moe's inner saboteur reared its ugly head once again and ruined everything, because even though taking Renee on a few nice dates is nice, he went way too overboard, to the point where he bankrupted himself. Still, it seems like he looks back on their time together very fondly, because in this season 21 episode, you can see that he still has a picture of her hanging in his bar. Which is nice, but also maybe a bit creepy. Renee was voiced by Academy Award winner Helen Hunt, who was dating Hank Azaria at the time, and actually won her Oscar for As Good As It Gets in the same month this episode aired, which, fun fact, is my mum's favourite movie. Hi mum! Oh yeah, also that film was directed by James L. Brooks, who is the same guy who helped get The Simpsons produced. So, a lot of fun facts there. So with Renee out of his life, Moe was single once again, and he filled his lonely days by stalking women. The dude's such a creep that he told Ned that he had a thing for Maud, at her wake.
Oh, here I come, baby. Oh, yeah.
Moe is so desperate that he proposes to a basketball mascot even after finding out that those sexy legs belong to old Gil.
Can't we just pretend you're really a girl?
Well, for how long?
For the rest of our lives.
And I guess it didn't work out with old Gil, because in that same season he is seen mistakenly kissing Selma.
Hey, you're not John Ritter.
And you ain't that gorilla from the zoo.
Which really makes you wonder, is there an actual gorilla Moe's secretly into that he regularly visits? And did he seriously believe that this gorilla escaped and started making out with him in the park? I have so many questions. Questions I'm not even sure I want answers to. But yes, sidestepping this, I do think that Moe and Selma would make a really interesting couple, simply because they are both arguably, actually not arguably, the most tragic characters in Springfield. Both have suffered plenty of heartbreak, and it is kind of a shame that the writers wasted this pairing for a quick joke. Given Moe's crush on Marge, dating her sister could have made for a very fun episode. Plus, it would have made Homer and Moe brothers-in-law. What a missed opportunity. The thing with Moe is that he actually tends to have better luck with women when he's not trying so hard, like with Renee, or that moment in season 14 when he's out with Maggie and a woman ends up asking him out.
You idiot, I was trying to pick you up.
Oh, great. Well, why don't you play with the baby while I go rent a room?
Ugh.
And this is one of Moe's rare redeeming qualities. He loves children. It's a quality that we've seen even in the early seasons, like in season 3 when Bart comes into the bar and he's so happy to see him. And then in season 5, we see that he reads to sick children, thus showing us that this is the real version of Moe, the one that most people never get to see, as explained in the DVD commentary.
This is a little insight into Moe's true character.
Yeah, I love this.
And this aspect of his personality was expanded on further in season 14's Moe Baby Blues, where he becomes super protective of Maggie. It's all these scenes that reveal a lonely man longing for his own family and kids, and it's these moments that really endear me to Moe. Sure, he can be a total creep at times, but he genuinely cares for kids and deep down wishes to be a father, and I think he'd make a fantastic one too. And who knows, maybe he will be a dad one day. Perhaps to Maya's kids, but we'll circle back to her later. Anyway, going back to Moe's dating history, and in season 16 he hooked up with Mrs. Muntz. It's even implied that he dated the crazy cat lady, as she takes offense to him pretending not to know her, especially after they owned a cat together.
We used to own a cat together. She had babies. Here's yours. Yeah!
Again, much like Selma, I feel like the writers wasted these interesting pairings on quick one-off jokes, because I can totally see an entire episode of Moe dating both Mrs. Muntz and the crazy cat lady. They're just such tragic characters in their own way, just like Moe. And if he was to date Mrs. Muntz, he could perhaps become the father that Nelson always wanted. Although this would be partly explored far later in season 34's Top Goon.
What was that?
I just tousled your hair. Ain't nobody ever done that before.
Ultimately, Moe will take whoever comes his way, even if he knows that it won't amount to anything serious. This includes Lindsay Nagel, who suddenly finds Moe irresistible after he wins over the crowd with his hateful judging of an ugly dog contest.
No, I don't need your fair weather friendship. Is what I'll say tomorrow morning.
Moe even briefly flirts with the same sex when he goes into business with Smithers in season 22's Flaming Moe, where he converts his tavern into a trendy gay bar, and his new customers assume that he is also gay. And he receives quite a bit of attention from Grizzly Sean.
'Cause you're the one that I want.
Smithers is outraged when Moe agrees to run as Springfield's first openly gay councilman, and so convinces Moe to come out as straight. Moe's reluctance to simply be himself ends up driving his customers away. If he'd only been honest from the very beginning, perhaps his business would still be thriving. Still, Moe kisses Smithers to see what all the fuss is about, and it doesn't do too much for him, but it does show that he's comfortable with his sexuality. But by the way, I was thinking of making more videos on the iconic locations in the show, like Moe's Tavern, and going into how it changed over the years. So let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in watching that sometime down the line. But yes, I can't talk about Moe's love life without bringing up his obsession with Midge. Whenever Homer and Marge's marriage is on the rocks, Moe is never far behind. He gets all the gossip on their relationship from Homer's class on how to have a successful marriage. And when Homer is kicked out of the house for oversharing, Moe wastes absolutely no time making his move.
I heard you and Homer broke up, so I'm declaring my intentions to move in on his territory.
And although Marge makes it clear that she has no interest in Moe, that doesn't stop him from holding on to hope that he'd eventually weasel his way into her heart. Moe knows full well what he's doing is wrong, but that doesn't stop him from trying, like in season 16's Mummy Beerist. The pair grew close after she becomes part owner of Moe's, and this was all because Homer took out a mortgage to save Moe's struggling business. So determined to protect her investment, Marge transforms the tavern into a charming English pub, the Nag and Weasel. And so Lenny and Carl gently break the news to Homer that Marge and Moe are having an emotional affair.
Although there's no physical intimacy, there's a deep spiritual connection that threatens to destroy your marriage.
But really, it's just Moe who can't control his urges, as he plans to seduce her at a convention in Aruba. But while they're taking off, Moe is shocked to find that Homer is trying to stop the plane, and with no time to waste, he lays his feelings bare.
Marge, you deserve a man who listens to you, who respects you, who understands what a treasure you really are.
And when Homer climbs in through the loo, Moe proves that he knows more about Midge than Homer does. But despite this, she still turns Moe down.
And I'm certainly not going to leave my husband.
You mean I listened to all your touchy-feely yip-yap for nothing?
I'm afraid so.
In reality, Moe's plan was never going to work, but he did prove that he can be thoughtful and an attentive partner, even if his intentions were far from honourable. Moe continued to harbour feelings for Midge, once even altering photos in her and Homer's wedding album, and he also stole a kiss at Christmas.
I'm sorry, Marge. I'm sorry, but it was Christmas and we were under the mistletoe.
That's lettuce caught in a spider's web.
I think the reason why Moe is so hung up on Midge is because he craves what Homer has, a loving wife and kids, and he feels that Homer just doesn't deserve them because he's always at the tavern complaining about his perfect life. As the years went on, he began to show remorse for his seedy ways and repented by actually trying to save Homer and Marge's relationship in season 28's Moho House. As a pawn in a cruel bet between Mr. Burns and his cynical friend Nigel, Moe is granted a fancy high-rise bar to help break up Homer and Marge.
You find Homer's wife attractive?
Yeah, she barely knows I exist, which is the only thing I got going for me.
And for once, Moe comes through for his friends and helps mend their strained relationship, thus showing that he cared more about their happiness rather than his own desperate need for affection.
And that's why I invited you here. To tell you that if you don't treat this woman right, someone's gonna take her away.
And thus accepting that he'll never be with Midge. This isn't the first time that Moe has played a good Samaritan to save people's relationships, because in season 21's Moe Letter Blues, Homer, Apu and Reverend Lovejoy receive a joint letter from Moe threatening to run off with one of their wives.
I am leaving town forever, and my going away present, one of your wives is running off with me.
This prompts them to reflect on their marriages and figure out whose wife might actually fall for Moe's charms. And as it turns out, it was all a ploy by Moe to encourage the men not to take their wives for granted.
Think of it as a wake-up call from a man who ain't got nothing but a blow-up doll. And even she left me.
And maybe he has a bit too much time on his hands, but this was still uncharacteristically charitable of Moe, therefore showing that he's evolving. And I think the reason for this evolution is a woman called Maya, who appeared just one season earlier in Eeny Teeny Maya Moe. So Moe has been talking to a stranger online, and most surprising of all, she thinks he's actually cute.
She thinks I'm cute. Oh, fabulous day! Caloo Calais!
So they arrange for her to come to his bar, and Moe is a little surprised when he meets her.
Oh, you're a little person. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. What's a correct term?
Little person.
And despite his initial surprise at her small stature, Moe is totally smitten. Maya is beautiful, smart, and she doesn't even mind his mishaps, like assuming that she lives in a tree.
You didn't actually think I lived in a tree, did you?
No, hey, a lot of people live in trees.
One reason why they work so well together is that Maya has her own quirky sense of humour, like freezing on the spot to scare people into thinking that she's a doll.
Whoa, you turned into a doll!
I just do that to freak people out.
But unfortunately, it's not too long before Moe's prejudices get in the way, too afraid to introduce her to his friends, not trusting them to be polite. And this says a lot about his opinion of his friends, but in reality, I think it's just an excuse to hide his own insecurities. He won't even let the mailman meet her.
When your mailman waved to us, you made me hide under that traffic cone.
But not wanting to lose her, he arranges a double date with Marge and Homer, who are perfectly behaved and never once mentions her height.
Man, oh man, slap a ring on that!
And things go so well that Moe even proposes, but he ruins it by making one too many jokes at her expense.
Oh, and we could drink champagne out of an acorn top. Our first dance will be on the head of a pin there.
Maya can take a joke, but Moe was really pushing it.
How long do you people remember things?
Get out.
In a desperate attempt to win her back, Moe plans to surgically reduce his height, right before Maya stops him. His grand romantic gesture definitely falls flat because Maya thinks that he doesn't really love her if he can't see beyond her height. Moe's devastated by the breakup, but Homer comforts him by saying that if someone loved him once, he will find love again. There's no bitterness or regret behind the breakup, there's just a deep gratitude for how amazing she made him feel.
Who'd have thought such a little woman could make me feel so big?
And yes, it is a very sad ending, but it's also quite a sweet one, because it reminds us that it's better to have loved and lost rather than to never have loved at all. And luckily for Moe, Maya wasn't truly lost. But we'll circle back to her later. So with Maya gone, Moe wouldn't meet another special lady again for 6 seasons, until of course, the Princess Guide. While not technically a relationship, Moe still gets to live out a rom-com fantasy when he meets Kemi, who is the daughter of a Nigerian king. While Mr. Burns negotiates a uranium deal with her father, Homer babysits Kemi, and he insists on taking her out to show her the town's most amazing sights, and the first stop is Moe's Tavern. As it turns out, Kemi is one of the very few women who finds Moe charming.
They don't make them like you in Nigeria.
But Moe is wary because he was recently scammed into sending $5,000 to a Nigerian prince, whom he naturally assumes to be Kemi's brother. Ultimately, this subplot doesn't really go anywhere, but they do spend the whole night chatting and Kemi falls asleep in the back room, and when she wakes up, she hears Moe saying this.
Good night, princess who treats me nice. Yeah.
The next day, Moe takes her on a moped tour all around Springfield, and surprisingly, they have a genuinely sweet and romantic day together.
This is my first montage.
Just relax and enjoy the music.
But Kemi didn't want to upset her father, so she plans to return to her hotel, but not before she gives Moe a very quick kiss on the forehead just in time for someone to snap a photo. The kiss sparks a scandal and her father confronts her about falling for the bartender. So has Moe finally found love and is about to marry a princess?
But when I kissed him on the forehead, it was not romantic. More like when Snow White kissed Dopey.
Oh, no, not this comparison again.
No, Moe ain't that lucky, but at least they parted on good terms. Although Moe didn't find love, it was still a very sweet story that showed that he can be kind and caring. Unlike with Renee, he wasn't just hiding behind flashy gifts or trying to buy affection, he was just himself with Kemi. And although she didn't really like him back, it did show that he was moving in the right direction, in terms of his character development and his love life. Now, let's talk about Lainey Fontaine. In season 26's My Fair Lady, Sideshow Mel paid his tab with a ticket to one of Lainey Fontaine's shows. And even though she's so old she literally needs to be resuscitated on stage, Moe instantly falls for her.
Who's this, Patrick Swayze?
She changed the lyrics for me.
Surprisingly, the feeling's mutual, and after the show they make out in her limo, and he takes her back to his tavern. Unfortunately for Moe though, while he was away, his buddies completely trash the bar, and Lainey sees this mess and decides that she's out.
Sorry, Mo. I love losers, but only after they bounced at the bottom.
You guys cost me my chance with a woman of a certain age!
But this wasn't the end for Moe and Lainey, because she reappears just a season later in Lisa with an S.
Now I date Mo. He's got everything I look for in a man. A current liquor license.
Moe attends her big show in New York to provide moral support, and it's here where her show is shut down. They end up spending a lovely day together in the city, and for a moment it actually seems like things might work out for Moe, but not quite. By season 30's From Russia Without Love, Lainey's turned their breakup into material for her one-woman show. What's odd though is that Lainey is Moe's longest relationship, but it was barely ever explored. They only ever share a handful of scenes together, and we don't really get to understand why they even liked each other. Ultimately, it just felt completely pointless and went absolutely nowhere. So, with Lainey Fontaine out of his life, Moe wasn't looking for love, but it found him anyway.
Moe Szyslak? Anastasia Alikova, his new wife.
In From Russia Without Love, Bart pranks on Moe by buying him a mail-order bride on the darknet. Moe has no plans to marry Anna, not just because he didn't sign the contract, but because he's been through enough heartbreak already. He offers to send her back to Russia, but not before he shows her the love tester.
Uh-oh, am I falling for her? I think it knows what I'm feeling. And what I'm having for dinner.
And I did actually use this love tester myself in Universal Studios, but I think it was definitely broken. Anyway, the next day, Anastasia cleans up the bar and even drums up some business. So his tavern is doing better than ever, and this beautiful woman actually likes him. So what's holding him back?
Every time I give my heart to a woman, it gets broken to 100 pieces.
Anastasia feels sympathy for Moe's heartbreak and seems to genuinely care for him. She leaves, but Moe realises that he's letting a great woman slip through his fingers and sets out to find her, only to find out that she's already dating Krusty. Moe confesses his love for her and she dumps the clown, wasting no time in getting married. So it looks like Moe has finally found love and will get his happily ever after, right? Of course not. This is Moe we're talking about. It turns out that Anna has been putting on an act all along because she's actually a con artist who targets lonely men.
I'm not Russian at all. I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
Well, it looks like this just became a shotgun wedding.
But that's no problem for her because she quickly finds another fool in Willie.
Are you from the Highlands?
Aye, between Inverness and the Moray Firth.
Yeah, so Moe was conned, but at the very least he did show some self-respect by not going through with it. I also like the continuity of showing the flashbacks of his past relationships with Maya and Lainey and how those experiences clearly left a mark on him. For a show that usually resets everything by the next episode, it was actually refreshing to see this kind of follow-up. It made Moe feel more like a real person and showed that he had been growing.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't risk another heartbreak. I'm sorry.
And I think that emotional evolution was building up to the return of his one true love, Maya. I don't think anyone expected to see Maya again, because by season 33 she hadn't appeared in 13 seasons. So when she returned in The Ways We Were, it came as a surprise to everyone, especially Moe. After a chance meeting in a traffic jam, Moe reveals that he wrote her a letter every day, only he didn't send them.
Really wish I had gotten your address.
But come on, Moe, you've been to her house. In reality, he was just scared of being reminded of everything he'd lost, but thankfully Maya missed him too and wanted to give their relationship another shot. And her mature confidence balances out Moe's fears, and now he's the happiest he's ever been. Right up until his inner saboteur rears its ugly head again and convinces him that no one will ever love him.
No one likes you. You're the worst. We'd all be happy if your head just burst.
Moe has self-sabotaged most of his relationships due to his self-esteem and all the rejections he's ever been through, but Maya is different and deep down he knows it. He just needs his friends to give him that nudge to avoid repeating his same mistakes. And so Moe finally opens himself up to real love and proposes to Maya a second time. And the risk pays off because the world suddenly looks a whole lot brighter. So it looks like this lonely bartender finally got his happily ever after. You know it's coming. Or did he? Because this episode aired way back in October 2021 and Maya hasn't been seen since. And the weird thing is that we've seen plenty of Moe, but Maya has mysteriously been absent. So what the hell happened to her? Did they break off screen? Well, in May 2024, Al Jean teased a script entitled Marge and Homer and Moe and Maya. But then season 35 came and went, and so did season 36, and that episode was nowhere to be found. So what gives? Was the episode scrapped or was it just delayed? Who knows, but the longer her absence goes on, the more that heartfelt proposal just starts to feel a bit pointless. It was so well done in that episode, and it's just a shame they haven't gone through with it yet. Ultimately, I do think she will return, eventually, maybe next season, but it is just annoying that it's going to take 4 or 5 years for that to happen, when we've been waiting for so long already. Oh yeah, and also in this episode we get a quick flashback showing him proposing to this mysterious lady, and yeah, no idea who she is, but this makes it the 4th time that he's proposed to someone. There was old Gil, Maya, this random lady, and Maya again. Before we close out the video, I should briefly mention that there's one other woman, Helen Lovejoy. In the season 36 episode Women in Shorts, Helen hears on the radio that the world is ending, and using what little time she has on Earth, she kisses Moe. It was only a quick scene, but Moe obviously loved the kiss, based on his reaction later on in the episode. But this just makes it seem as if Maya isn't even an afterthought anymore, because if they were really engaged, would he be this happy from a kiss from Helen Lovejoy? Look, just give me some answers, Simpsons writers, because I just want to know if they're still an item or not. Because by this point, I'm close to giving up on Moe and Maya completely. And so we've come to the end of the video. If you'd like to support this channel like the people on the screen right here, you can join my Patreon and get early access to my videos on The Simpsons Theory and Lydia Loves Timelines. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll smell you later.